Hello, this is Lucas, and in this video I'm going to be going over charts in JavaFX. So there are a lot of charts that we can add, such as the area chart, there's the line chart, pie chart, bubble chart. There's a lot of charts that we can add. I'm only going to go over two of them, probably the most two popular ones, which is the pie chart and the bar chart. This video is just to explain how charts work. If you want to use any other charts, you can refer to this video and also by using other resources online. So let's get started with the pie chart. We're going to start off with the pie chart. So to make it easier, what we're going to do is we are going to create a list, and we are going to add all the data that we need for our pie chart into a list, so our pie chart can use the data very easily. So let's start off by doing that. So the first thing that we need to do is we are going to create an observable list. Okay, so observable list. And then we will just put in the data value in here. Then we'll give a name. We'll just name a list. It's fine. Then we are going to equal that to an fx for JavaFX collections dot. And then we are going to do observable array list, like that exactly. So this is our list that we're going to have all of our data in here. Now we need to call this, so we'll do list dot add all. Now in here is where we are going to specify our data. So we'll put a semicolon in here. Okay, so all of them are going to be in here like this. Okay, so we can get started. So we can create a new, because we are using a pie chart, that's the first piece of data that we are using. We'll do a new pie chart dot data, and now in here we are going to specify two values. So the first value is what kind of data is it. So let's say we are creating a list of programming languages and their popularity. Let's just say, for example, so let's say we do Java, okay, sure, and then the second value is going to be the actual data, right? So let's say it's popular, let's say we'll do 50. Then we can add another one, just to make it easier. Let's just copy this. Now make sure you separate them with a comma. Okay, so now we have two. Let's add a JavaScript in here, and let's say this is 20. Okay, and then let's just add one more. Let's add one more, and let's do, I don't know, let's do Python, and let's add Python as 30. Okay, make sure you do your comma there, and just like that, we have added 3 pieces of data into our list that we are going to use for our pie chart. So once we have the data, once we have the list filled with data, we can create the pie chart. So we'll do a pie chart. And we can just give it any name. I'll just name it pie, and we'll equal that to a new pie chart. Okay, just like that, we have created a pie chart. Remove that. There we go. Now there's a few things that we need to do for this pie chart. So the first thing is we need to insert the data. So we can call pie first, and then we will do set data, and we will add in the list that we have created with all of our data. Okay, and just like that, we have added the data in. Now there's a couple other things that we need to do. So we'll do a pie dot set legend. Ooh, let's just do set legend side. And now this, what we are doing here is we are specifying where our legend will be. Okay, and you will see that once we run this program. Next thing that we need to do is let's just set a title. So set title, and we'll just give a name of popular programming languages. Okay, remove this T. And then the last thing that we are going to do is we're going to do pie, and we're going to do set clockwise, and I'll leave this as false. This is just the way that the data is displayed on our pie chart, if it's clockwise or if it's anti-clockwise. Okay, and then let's see. So then what we're going to do is we're just going to add this into our root layout, which for me is a VBox. that was specified here. So all we have to do is we have to do root dot get children dot add. I'm gonna do, yeah, let's do add, and then we can do pi. Okay, now once we run this, you'll see that we have a nice pie chart of the data. So you can see Java takes up 50%, then JavaScript is 20%, and then Python is 30%. And then this legend, you can see that we have specified the legend side to the left of the pie chart. So the legend is going to be on the left hand side. Obviously, if you do right, it'll be on the right hand side. We can change the values a bit, so they don't have to equal to 100%. So you can see this is 50, 20, 30. It does up just by scale. So if we do 20, and if we run this, you will see that even though Java is 50, it doesn't take up 50% of the pie chart. It just scales it down. So this will be 50 out of 90, because 50, 20, 20 is 90. So this Java will take up 50% out of 90 of the pie chart. Okay, and obviously we can have like a lot of values here. We don't just have to have like 3. So let's add like a few in here. Okay, let's do that. We'll remove this. Let's set this as 10. Let's do one as 15. Let's say we have a smaller one at 5, and then let's just say we have a bigger one at, let's say 70. And then let's just change these values a bit. So let's do C++, C#. Then let's just say we have Ruby, and then let's say we also have something like, I don't know, Scala. Okay, now let's say we run this again, and you can see that it just creates these don't have to equal to 100%. You know, it's just the popularity, and then it will scale it down. It will add up all of these values here. So this 50, it doesn't mean that's going to take up 50%. What it means is it's going to take up 50% out of the total amount of numbers. Okay, so that's the way that the pie chart works. Okay, so that is the pie chart. Next one we are going to be going over, and the last one that we're going to go over is the bar chart. Okay, so with the bar chart, there's a couple of things that we need to look at. So I'm going to, let's see, we are going to comment all this out, because that's the wrong one, and we are going to create a new bar chart. Now, before we create the bar chart, there's two things that we need to create. We need to create the x-axis, and then we need to create the y-axis. Okay, because that's what the bar chart uses. So we can create this by doing a category axis. You can give a name. I'm just going to name it, let's just do x for the x-axis, and then equal that to a new category axis. Okay, then we will also have to create a the y-axis, well, which is named number axis. So number axis, we give a value of y, and we will equal that to a new number axis. Then there's a few values that we have to pass in, which I will explain a bit later, but let's just do 0.1 for now. Let's do 2, and then let's do 0.1. Okay, just these values here, 0.1, 2, and 0.1. And now we can just set a few labels for these. So let's do x dot set label. Let's say we do money, so we can do currency, for example, and then we can do y dot set label, and then this will be the price of this currency, right? So let's do dollar price here, dollar price. Okay, so now once we have the x-axis and y-axis, we can actually create our bar chart now. So we will do this by doing bar chart. We'll need to pass in two values in here. So the values that we are going to be using is a string, and then it's a float. We will give a name of bar, and then we will equal this to, firstly, this is wrong, this is bar chart. Then we will equal this to a new bar chart, and we will have to pass in two parameters, which is the x-axis and the y-axis that we have created, so x and y. Just like that, we have added our bar chart into here. We can add this in here now, just by doing bar. Okay, then we can also create a title for this bar chart, just like we did with the pie chart. So we'll do a set title, we'll give a name, and we'll do, so we are using dollar, so we'll do dollar conversion chart. Okay, this is just the bar chart that we're using. And now we can pass in a bit of data, because at the moment we have no data. If I run this, for example, now this is what we have at the moment. So now I can quickly explain these values here. So so these are the start values and the end values. You can see 0.1 and 2. So it will start off with 0.1 and it will end at 2, and it will increment by 0.1. Okay, so that's what that means. So we can change this. I can change this to 0.2, 0.2. Let's run this again. Now you can see that we start at 0.2. We still end at 2 because I didn't change that, but now we increment by 0.2. Okay, so that is what those values mean. So let's just change this back to 0.1. Now let's add in some data so we can actually see how this works. Okay, so the way we create data is we will do xy chart dot series. Okay, then we have x and y. So now we need to specify the data type. So we are using a string and a float. So we will also use that. So we'll use a string and then we'll use a float. Then we will give it a name. I'll just name a series. Then we will equal this to a new xy chart and then dot series. And just like that, we have created the series where we are going to be adding all of our data in. So we can call series now. We will do dot get data. And what we can do is we can add in a list, or we can just add in the data manually. So that's why we're going to do it this way. So we're going to do add, and then we are going to do a new xy chart dot data, and then in here is where we are going to specify the data inside of these brackets here. So the way we do that is just like we did up here for the pie chart. We're going to do the same way. We're going to have a value, and then we're going to have the type of value and then the actual data value. So let's say we do euro, and then we can specify another value, which I'm going to do 0.83, for example. Okay, 0.83. That should be fine. Cannot infer. I probably did something wrong. Let's see. New. That's fine. Get data. Dot add. New XY chart data. We do not need this, and that was the issue. Yeah, we didn't need this. These two we do not need. Okay. And now I'm going to add another 3, so we'll have 4 in total. And I'm going to change this, so let's see, we do pound. I'll have another value here, let's say 7.5 for example. Then instead of this one, let's do the franc. Let's have another value here of, let's say 1.12. And then let's say we have another one of, let's do a dollar. That's another one. Let's have this even bigger value. Let's have this as 1.0. Okay, just like that, we have added the data into our bar chart. So now we need to call this. Well, we haven't added in. We just set the values. Right, we set the values of the data. But now we have to add these data, the values of the data, into our bar chart. So the way we do that is we will call bar. We'll do a dot get data. Okay, and then all we have to do is just do dot add. So dot add, and then you can see that it needs us to add a series, which is this XY chart that we created. And just like that, we have created our bar chart. And if we run this, there we go. You can see that we have created our bar chart, and you can display it however you want. Okay. So yeah, that's about it for this video. We went over 2 charts, but as I said before, there's like 10 other charts that we can use. I'm not going to go over all of them, but you can use this video just to go over all the other bar charts that are available. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.